I feel like it's I feel like it's because it's anime, it gets away with being a superhero.
Well, it also has the trope of being, you know, the main hero just continues getting stronger and defies all odds no matter what's put into place. So that's
Until
also
we
why it's like that's also why it gets away with everything too, because it keeps that trope going.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just I wanted to like it. I did. I really did. I wanted to get into it. I like some of the character designs. I like some of the powers that they have. But there's nothing. It's the same story over and over again. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's always like, and one thing that bugs the hell out of me about it is this whole, um, well, you guys will be in trouble for this, and you deserve reprimanded, and you'll be expelled, but not this time. And it's
Right.
like, what the fuck, dude?
There's no
There's no,
the thing
yeah,
is there's no consequences for their actions throughout the
right.
show. And that's actually why I got really bored of it, because it didn't matter with any of the characters. Like I don't know how far you are, but there's like a traitor in the group.
No, there is. Okay, they pretty much just figured out that there is because they tried to go after the Yazuka. Not Yazuka. What's it called? You know, the Japanese mafia.
Yeah, I
Not,
know who you're talking
yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they try to go after them, and they know that they're coming. So they're like, "Oh, somebody's backstabbing us." You know, that kind of
Right.
thing. And it's like, okay. And what's sad about it is that would be interesting, except I forgot all about that until you just said that.
Right. Well,
And I just watched this episode like a day or two ago.
did they reveal who it is?
No, not yet.
Okay, so they won't if you're at the part where I'm okay, so there's two different traders now that I'm thinking about it, so I don't know which one.
They just raided the Yazuka.
So you're at upheaval or overhaul?
Oh yeah, overhaul.
So you're at overhaul. I like him. He's
Yeah.
neat. But
Yeah.
and I also like Stain too. He was pretty cool. But
Yeah, he's there too.
okay, so that's not actually now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know who the trader was in that one because I also forgot about that. Okay, so there's another
There's another one.
trader.
That's
There's
great.
another one when it gets farther out.
Yeah.
It reveals like All for One is like there's a trader in the students,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, this is all he's working for All for One. But when they reveal it, there's no repercussion, and that's what got me to stop. Is because I was like, every person that's gotten in trouble has just said they just went, no, shoo, you're forgiven. We're
Right.
sorry.
So like, but the fact that it's such a huge anime and it's superheroes, right? And that it's not. So the question comes in when, okay, this is big, it's superheroes. So the superhero fatigue thing is kind of, is that disproven with this? Or is this only because this group hasn't been experiencing superheroes like the rest of the Western world?
Probably, well, I think the latter. I think it's because they haven't been exposed like us.
Yeah.
But at the same exact time, though, I will argue that the difference between My Hero Academia and Western comics is My Hero Academia, superpowers are thrown against the wall. And to see what sticks. Yeah. And that's what makes it more fun than Western comics. So yeah, I would say
there's some cool stuff that like the guy that can go into matter, and because he's not supposed to be there, it pushes him out, so it kind of makes him like fly.
Oh, that's Illumillionaire.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
He's great.
Like, it should be a rapper. Like,
yeah,
right?
He's just
bro.
Yo, what's up?
It should be a rapper. Stays out of Diddy's house. But anyway,
ow.
So,
I mean, he's probably coming through our door right now for us.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's it.
P Diddy,
but,
buddy.
He did it.
P diddler.
But and that's a cool concept. And there's a couple other ones that are cool concepts. So it's almost like you take that anime over exclamation thing
Yeah.
and just like run it through the mud
Mm-hmm.
and put it into the superhero, and where it feels a little bit more at home to describe their powers. So I'll give them that. But as far as My Hero Academia being anywhere close to one of my favorite animes, it's not going to happen.
Right.
I long for an anime that I'm like, okay, I want to figure stuff out. I want to be reveals and stuff like that, and I'm not getting that with this at all.
Yeah,
like whatsoever. Like One Piece, but
I mean, unfortunately, and I know we've said this before, and all of our listeners are like, oh, One Piece. It is true. Like One Piece, you're always like, oh my god, this is happening. Like, holy crap, this. Oh my god, this person was like from 500 episodes ago. But
yeah,
they're actually Jesus.
They're
like,
important. Yes.
Yeah. Oh wait,
well, no, there is a Jesus, but
well,
he's not,
yeah, he's not there yet.
Jesus, what's his name? I can't remember what his name is.
In a world where people can talk about things, and there are people who have a lot to say about the things they are talking about. When there is nothing else to say, these people will talk about stuff with the confidence in knowing what they are saying. When they have things to say, they will start talking about the thing they need to talk about. This is the show that you don't want to miss when there are things to be discussed.
Whoop whoop. All right, so go ahead.
What?
No, you need to introduce yourself.
Oh God. Okay.
Yes, because we're a show. People don't know who the hell we are.
Hi, I'm Chad Perkins, writer of the books that you love, Blue Lullaby, The Legend of Sparkle Dog, and Set the Hook.
Presumptuous there, isn't it? But anyway, go ahead.
Listen, you told me you wanted the introduction. This is what you're stuck with, okay? And that's me. Hello, everybody.
And I'm C. Michael Lenning, independent artist, and all things to C. Michael Lenning you can check out at lenningart.com. And I've done comics, so that's what you get out of me.
Yeah.
But you want to?
What?
His name is Jesus H. Christ. No, Jesus.
No, his name is Jesus D. Christ.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. And nobody would get that unless they watch One Piece.
Exactly. No, they wouldn't. Actually, one of the things I was thinking about My Hero Academia, I like Sun Eater. He's one. I think he has one of the coolest powers.
He does have a cool power, but he's depressing as all get out.
Yeah, and that's what makes him better. Like his power is really cool, and he's really depressed.
I'll tell you what. The thing about his fingers, instead of just being the arm, like most times you see that when somebody has a tentacle power, it's usually just the arm.
Yeah.
Making his fingers the tentacles was like, I don't think it's groundbreaking, but it's kind of like a, why the hell hasn't anybody done this before kind of shit.
Could you imagine him like, you just said, oh God, C's dying. Could you imagine going on a date with him and you're like getting busy with him and you're about to stick your fingers into her, and you just turn your fingers into tentacles and go.
I'm not sure I want this conversation to go that way.
But let's continue. So anyway, what I was thinking is then he like puts his tentacles in his mouth. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. See, it's great.
Yeah, I think I understand. I understand what you
Yeah. And then he can turn his tongue into the little tentacle too.
Oh God. Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
All right, fine. But I do like the fact that he turns like when he eats like a clam, he can turn his whole fist into a clam and use it as a hammer. I think that's pretty cool. So I like that. Yeah, it brings a whole new concept of just the tip.
Yep.
That'd be great porn.
Golly. Why? All right. Gee whiz. Anyway, Chad, you said you wanted to talk to me about something.
I do. Okay, so there's something. So I've been watching Gangs of London tonight. We just finished the first season, and it's about a gang in London. It's like the biggest corporation, the Wallaces, and they own the entire city, and they're the biggest crime family ever.
They're the Peaky Blinders. I got you.
Yeah, it's Peaky Blinders, but in London. Which I think Peaky Blinders is also in London. It's new Peaky Blinders, is what it is. Because Peaky Blinders, I think, is set in like the 60s, isn't it? Or like the 40s.
No, Peaky Blinders. It's set in after the Great War, so I think it's like 30s, maybe early 40s.
Oh, okay then.
That like Hitler's just starting to kind of start coming up around. So there's no Nazis yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then they got time. Good. They're still in the good time. But anyway,
I have
this is
Peaky Blinders. So.
Oh, okay. I need to watch Peaky Blinders. But I'm watching Gangs of London, and there's something interesting about it that I've never seen before in a show. You know how in Game of Thrones, everybody gets like a complete story arc in order, and then they kill off the character?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Okay.
In Gangs of London, and I wanted to ask if you've ever seen this before, they kill people off because they don't know where to go with this character, and they make it blatantly obvious. So every character they introduce, they're like, oh, well, we're going to give them 2 episodes, and then they kill them, and you kind of start getting this tick in you going, but they didn't answer anything. They just showed up and died. Oh, they don't know how to write this character. And I've never seen a show do something like this and make it so obvious. Like at the end of the season, there's a character that dies where they walk up to him, start talking, and the moment they pull out a shotgun and just shoot her. And I'm like, wait a minute. Out of nowhere. Like there's no real context to it. And then it dawned on me, every death has been like that. There's no context in these deaths. It's just, we're going to shoot you now.
Yes, like, you come here to be cannon fodder.
Right, exactly.
Gwen Stacy was originally killed off for the same reason.
Was she really? You know,
yeah, they should have just made her Spider-Gwen.
Right, exactly. Or Gwenpool. You know, there's directions they could have went with.
Yeah,
you know, or Jeff the Shark. They could have made him that too, but they didn't. They just made Jeff the Shark.
So does it take away from the show?
Yes, 100% it does. Because sometimes it feels like, ooh, look how we can kill this person. Look how much gore we can use to get away with. It takes away from the show, and it doesn't feel like a Mafia show. It just feels like a gore fest.
I think you had some of that in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Where you just had somebody, they didn't know what to do with them, so they just kind of killed them off, what have you. I don't think every death was like that. I think of the guy that what was his name? Everybody Hates Chris. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Oh,
you know, Everybody Hates Chris, right?
Are you talking about the older guy, the black guy?
Yeah, well, now, no, not Terry Crews. The
other guy, Finn. I can't remember the guy who he plays in Walking Dead, but he plays the older black gentleman. Isn't that who? Are we thinking? Maybe we're not thinking about the same guy.
I don't think we're thinking about the same guy because he's not really an older. He's a young man. He's about to take over the. He's about to learn all the architecture and everything, or how the city works in the community, and then he gets squashed by a bunch of zombies.
Tyler James Williams?
Yeah. Is that the guy you're talking about?
No, this isn't the guy I was talking about.
Well, who were you talking about? Morgan?
I think I was thinking of Morgan.
No.
I was thinking of Morgan from The Walking Dead.
Wow. That says a lot about you.
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna say what it says about you.
Look, I wasn't. No, I'm not doing it. Anyway. Oh yeah, because he's the guy who plays. Yeah. Oh, he.
Don't be racist. I am a building.
I'm sorry. I was.
So you know what? That gives me pause since you said that. You know who's okay? First, we'll talk about that, and then I want to talk about. Remind me that somebody's getting canceled now, and he hasn't been around for years. But and he didn't go to Diddy's parties. But here's the thing.
Is
So
it
they
Cannibal
were
Corpse? Because they tried that too.
Cannibal Corpse. Man, you ever see that the lead, like, was it the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse or Morbid Angel? He like goes to those vending machines, right, and like gets all the stuffed animals, and he
That's
like wins them.
that's Cannibal
Cannib-
Corpse. That's George
That's
Fisher.
Cannibal Corpse,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and everybody's like, you see, like Cannibal Corpse fans are all like, black, decked out in black and everything, and he's like, just like, what's up? Just like a chill fucking stoner looking guy.
He's also a huge Lego nerd.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. He loves Legos and like action figures and everything. He's a huge dork.
I mean that makes sense. What
Yep.
do you expect him to be? He's not like Norwegian metal. He's fucking
No.
American.
Well, people don't understand when it comes to metal music. Like, it's still a business. Like, you still like you
Yeah.
still need to be a person. And believe it or not, these people, just because they scream about dragging a woman's entrails on the ground with a meat hook.
Now, in all fairness, I don't think that they're misogynist about that. They'll do the same thing for men.
Correct. No, they're
Yeah.
not. Well, no, because one of the other songs like "I Come Blood" and like "Diseased Penis," that kind of stuff. So they
Right.
they
Infested
equal it
by
out.
maggots and things like that. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah.
they are not sexist by any means or misogynistic. They are equal opportunists when it comes to brutally murdering people.
Right.
So
Which is what you want
right.
in your metal.
But I have seen, yeah, I did know that. And it's really funny because every time I see it, George just has a big dorky smile on his face. Did you know I think I've said this before, but Cher's son is a big Cannibal Corpse fan. And she hired Cannibal Corpse to play.
What's that?
It's the singer from Dead Z, or the keyboardist from Dead Z, not the singer. What is his name? I can't remember his name.
What is Cher's son's name?
Elijah Blue Allman.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were talking about. Chaz.
No, I am not talking about Chaz. I'm talking about Elijah Blue Allman.
Yeah, it seemed like Chaz was born in like '69, so I kind of had my doubts that he'd be a Cannibal Corpse person. But you never know.
I mean, Cannibal Corpse has been around for a while, so maybe. I mean, Jim Carrey's a fan of Cannibal Corpse. They were in Ace Ventura, so
Were they? I don't
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah, they were in the club where where they're like all in the club, like headbanging and everything, and Jim Carrey's doing like the jumping like this. Did you ever see it?
Yes, I have. I saw it.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. The last time I saw Ace Ventura was in the movie theater.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw it a lot more. But anyway,
Chaz
Chaz is a Swiftie.
I don't like Jim Carrey, so
That's fair. That's fine. I don't care. You can hate whoever you like. Don't like. Anyway,
I don't hate Jim Carrey. Like, he might be a nice guy. Like, we watched what was it? Crap. Eternal Sunshine on the Spotless Mind the other night.
Oh yeah. Did you watch
Which is the
Truman?
kind of I hate the Truman Show. Don't
Oh,
even
okay.
mention the Truman Show with me.
Okay, fine. Continue. Go.
It was look, I worked in a movie theater when the Truman Show was there, and Liar Liar for some reason. I don't know. They must have been around the same times. And Liar Liar, I don't like. Ugh. And I thought, because some of that stuff was just stupid. It's like, you don't have to say anything. Just because you don't say anything doesn't mean it's lying. I mean, you could just shut up.
Fair.
Which one? Okay, you have to. Which one is his best film in your opinion?
Of who? Jim Carrey?
Oh well, I was asking Zombie McNasty.
Oh,
Because it could either be Eternal Sunshine or it could be the Truman Show. One is right and one is wrong. But I'm just saying.
real quick.
people like Truman Show, and I'll give you this point. Maybe I'll go back and give it a shot because we were all Jim Carreyed out at that freaking point because we got hit by Ace Ventura, The Mask, Liar Liar, Truman Show.
The electrician,
Yeah. Okay.
cable guy.
That is the right answer. Yeah, the cable guy.
No, he's doing that to please you. Let's just be real.
But have you ever watched it? Have you ever watched Eternal Sunshine on the Spotless Mind?
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like so. I think I watched it.
We watched it because we own it. So,
Oh well, I don't own it, so I watched it maybe.
but that
like,
just goes to show you that
20
if
years
it how much like I liked it. So there's like two of those movies, two Jim Carrey movies that I like, and I can never remember what the second one is.
The Mask.
No, I don't like The Mask either.
Yeah, I know. We already talked about that. Oh, also Elijah Blue Allman is the lead singer and guitarist of Dead Z. I swore he was the
Oh,
keyboardist,
okay.
but anyway. But my point was, what I was saying about them is Cher hired Cannibal Corpse to play at Elijah's birthday party,
Right.
and so George is there, and he goes up to Cher and says, "I'm sorry you have to listen to our music and everything, just being this really nice guy." And Cher just looks at him and goes, "Honey, I was metal before you were even born." And apparently, like Cher has said, like he's a very nice, pleasant man to talk to.
Well, if you think about it, okay, let's talk about Cher's aesthetic versus Cher's music, right? Okay, when you look at Cher's aesthetic, go to if I could turn back time.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's kind of
Right
has
there.
this metal look on there, right? Because she's got
Yeah.
the leather jacket and everything. Go and watch The Mask. She's very natural in her biker-esque-ness,
Mhm.
right? So I'm not, yeah, I believe that's true. I believe that there's at the point in time she comes out of the freaking late 50s, early 60s and everything. So you had, what was it? That one with Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda. Come on, bro. Easy Rider, which was a big you don't know Easy Rider?
The song or the movie?
The movie.
I've never seen Easy Rider.
Okay, but do you know it?
I know Easy Rider.
That's one of those movies a lot of people say that they've seen but never seen. Right? Like you like to say all the time.
He likes to what?
You like to say that's one of those movies that people say that they've seen but they've actually never watched.
Correct.
Right. It's not true, but okay. Well,
no, it
look,
is. It's 100% true.
that was actually filmed down here. Like I could probably go there tomorrow if I wanted to.
Oh.
Where it was filmed. Well, it had Jack Nicholson and everything. They were coming to Louisiana for Mardi Gras. And my point being is this. That was kind of the era. There was a flail jacket bike riding era in American history, and she was definitely into that kind of thing at that point in time. So to say that for her to say that she was metal before there was metal, or yeah, I totally agree with that. I believe that, despite I Got You, Babe. Although she did do a cover of I Got You, Babe with Butthead, so you have to give her that.
Like from Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was like Beavis and Butthead do music or some shit like that.
Was that the thing from MTV?
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead. Yeah.
Well, I know that. I didn't know that. I know where Butthead is. Oh, I guess the first Ghost Rider was full of Easy Rider Easter eggs. Huh.
Well, yeah, because Peter Fonda, who played Mephisto in the Ghost Rider, like the bike that Nicolas Cage has at the beginning of Ghost Rider, where they're in the alleyway and you got Mephisto walking up on it. It's like, nice bike. Well, that was his. That's a replica, or it might be his. I don't know, of the Easy Rider bike. That's why that comment was made.
Oh,
yeah. See, they're clever, right?
Very
because
clever.
That's one thing. Okay, I actually own the Ghost Rider movie. I will watch the Ghost Rider movie. I have no shame in saying that.
No, I like the Ghost Rider movie. I think Nick Cage
It's
is
horrible,
great.
but still.
It's hysterical. That's why I love the car. But like I said, I'm not afraid to say I'll watch the Venom movies. So I'll never watch Morbius though.
I can't do that one.
Yes, you can. I believe in you.
I tried watching that second Venom movie. I couldn't.
It's like 7 different, but I've already said that many times. It's like 7 different movies.
It sounds like Beetlejuice. But well, that's the thing about the Ghost Rider. Okay, so I remember, I got the disc, so I get to see the behind the scenes and them talking about it and everything. And it was so important for them to get the villain actor. You don't know who he is. I don't remember who the hell he is, but it was like, they felt it was like, it was a blessing, whatever, that they got this guy to be able to agree to do this movie and everything. And he was in one movie where he basically filmed a plastic bag blowing in the wind, and that was, peak cinema. And Kevin Spacey got killed, and that was it. So this guy, I don't know who this guy's name is. I don't remember him. I haven't seen him in another movie. I just know he's from American Beauty and Ghost Rider. That's what his IMDb is. I'll never find it because I'm not going to go look for it, and I don't remember his name. But so they're sitting there talking, and Nicolas Cage is sitting there talking about how they wanted to make I'm going to say Johnny Cage. I'm going to say Johnny Blaze. They wanted to make him like more real character, right? And it's like, so instead of him being an alcoholic,
he eats jelly bean, or he drinks jelly bean. Yeah,
yes, because it's such a real person, and he listens to the Carpenters. What the fuck, man?
No real person.
Metal out of Ghost Rider. At least let him listen to Cher.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like give him something a little, like at least maybe like ABBA or Cher, like to make it a little bit believable.
ABBA,
listen, look, I can definitely hear
jam it to the Mamma Mia soundtrack. I don't know.
I can definitely hear Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider riding around to "Gimme, gimme, give me a man after midnight" and beating up men after midnight. Like, like I think it fits. So
Dancing Queen,
and young and sweet, gonna choke this bitch.
Got my chain.
Got my chain.
Just swinging the chain around.
Yeah,
if somebody doesn't do like some kind of freaking animation of Ghost Rider dancing out of Dancing Queen, it is going to be such a missed opportunity.
I agree. See, and people say there's no creativity left. There you go.
We did it. We are reshaping Marvel. That's
we are. Hey, what's your next Ghost Rider? Because they have the Ghost Rider and roller skates, which is pretty cool. They have.
I actually kind of like the concept. I like Ghost Rider on any set of wheels. It works. I like it. People hate it, but I don't care. I mean, Ghost Rider is a flaming fucking skull for one, and besides that, Ghost Rider used to be a cowboy. Give it a break, man.
Well, remember, he also used to be going farther back. He used to be a skeleton on a woolly mammoth.
Oh yeah, well you're talking in their canon. I'm talking about in real.
No, I know the original Ghost Rider was the ghost. Yeah, was a cowboy.
Yeah.
His name was the Phantom Rider, if I remember correctly. Was his original name? I think it was. I don't think his original name was the thing, but yeah, the mammoth one was from the
Avengers.
Avengers million BC. And it's just a guy, it's just a skeleton on a mammoth, and it's sweet. So you're right. Like the Ghost Rider riding anything is awesome. So you know what this means, right? This means that he needs to be in roller skates in a disco uniform, dancing to Dancing Queen while he's beating up people, young and
with an afro.
Yeah, exactly. Like
with an afro. Yes,
his flames are an afro.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Look at that.
That'd be awesome.
What's that? Okay, Subletsky, we've got it now, buddy. You need to contact us.
Yeah, he'd be like groovy and like, kill him up.
Oh my god,
it'd be great. Hell yeah!
They don't know. We're going to sell more than My Hero Academia.
Look. We have ideas that we need to market it. We need to name him like the Funky Rider. That'd be awesome.
The Funky Rider.
the Funk Rider.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think, look, fuck Marvel. We're just going to create our own character.
Yeah, hell yeah. Could you imagine?
You can't, what, a flaming afro with a skull? You can't prove that that's Ghost Rider.
No, hell no. Look.
Dun, dun, dun,
he's wearing a sparkly jacket. Ghost Rider doesn't wear a sparkly jacket.
See?
Could you imagine?
How stupid are you? And he uses and his flail is a disco ball.
Yeah. He doesn't have like the chain. He has a flail. It's a disco ball.
See, he wears a disco onesie, a glittery disco onesie.
Yeah. Could you imagine like somebody's running away from him in fear? They're going, he's out to get me. You just hear dun, 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 dun. Well, you can tell by the way I walk. I'm a woman. And he's just walking after.
He's got platform shoes, but they have wheels. them. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hell yeah. See?
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I'm writing this down. The Funky
Let's do
Rider.
Funky Rider.
Yeah. We could do all that because it'll be like also
That's
an
a
homage.
parody.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
parody.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
there was a
parody.
parody comic called Not Daredevil, which was an old comic of an Australian superhero called Daredevil.
Ah,
Yeah. And what they did is that they took this old comic and they revamped it as like a Monty Python type thing. And it was really cool. So we could totally, and it was a parody off of Daredevil. That not the Marvel's Daredevil, this other superhero named Daredevil. Did you know?
right.
Fun fact: there was an original Australian superhero called Daredevil that is now public domain.
Yeah, I think I did hear about that.
Yeah.
You know why I hear about that? Because everybody in any comics wants to run to the freaking public domain to create comics from the public domain. Don't get me started on this again.
No, we already talked about that last time. But speaking of public domain, did you know? I don't remember what I was going to
Ah,
say,
damn
but
it.
there was a character that's not going to be public domain until like 2050, and I'm like, oh
Oh,
damn, can't do
Superman?
it. No,
Superman should become public domain before that.
I don't know. I feel like they'll just keep the original Superman.
Yeah.
I would feel like they would keep purchasing the license, wouldn't they? Or renewing the license to
No, the
Superman.
only reason that Disney got away with that is because they lobbied to move the marker. That's the only reason that they got away with it. I don't think DC has that kind of pull. So
is that why
No.
Winnie the Pooh as well?
yes. Well, Winnie the Pooh.
'Cause I
Remember
know
now,
that
it's
was
not the Disney Pooh. It's just Winnie the Pooh. No, Winnie the Pooh was. Let's see. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh would have been public domain sooner had Disney not lobbied to move the public domain inclusion to like 96 years. I think it is.
Gotcha. Huh. No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he winks, the women faint.
Yeah.
You just hear he's so dreamy, Funky Rider. Or you could on and alive, on and alive.
I don't know why.
On and alive. I would
That's funny.
totally fucking watch that. Oh, so speaking of, I did watch The Penguin. We did watch the first episode of The Penguin.
Somebody was telling me about that the other day.
I was.
Yeah, no, it was somebody else.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because
I know I was.
Because you like the Batman, so I'm kind of like, I had to talk to somebody who doesn't like the Batman.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, what did they think of The Penguin?
They liked it, so they actually enjoyed it. So I guess I'll have to give it a shot because I did not like the Batman.
Well, you don't have to. If you didn't like the Batman, your opinion of the Penguin shouldn't reflect that because it has really nothing to do with the Batman, except the first 5 minutes where they go, "Hey, so the Riddler, she flooded the city, and there's Batman. Batman is helping the people in the flood with the police, and that's great." And then it just cuts the Penguin, and then it doesn't talk about the Batman ever again. So it is Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and personally, it's pretty good. It's a better character study than the Joker. Let's just say that.
Oh well,
I mean, it's not
what's that? We're talking about that Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Which I didn't. I did like it, but at the same time, though,
are you sure? Are you sure you did? You sure you're not saying that just because you feel like people will run you through the ringer if you said you don't like it, and that it was basically a ridiculous movie about villainizing people with mental health issues?
No, I just didn't.
Okay.
No, I just didn't think it was necessary.
Okay.
Movie. Like, as I was watching, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good. I'm enjoying this, but you are right. Like, villainizing people with mental illnesses, that is pretty shitty. And secondly, I mean, that's just Batman altogether. But
well, Yeah.
But that's why it's like, yeah, it's a fine. Yeah, this is a good point. It was a fine movie if you separate the fact that it wasn't the Joker. Yes, and that was probably my biggest thing was, yeah, this is good, but you could just put anybody in this situation and it works.
I
Like
I gotta disagree with that comment. I
what that
disagree
you
with
could
that.
put any
No,
person in there with a laughing disorder and it still
it was
works.
it was it was a fucking it was a Scorsese film without Scorsese. There were several, and that's not and I like some of Scorsese stuff. I don't like all of Scorsese stuff because sometimes he's got some shit.
I like
But
Hugo, that was Scorsese.
you liked what?
Hugo Cabret.
Oh, Hugo? Yeah, Hugo
Yeah.
wasn't bad.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm allowed to be wrong. Okay, let me explain this. It was basically it was a ripoff of The King of Comedy. That was a Scorsese film of Robert De Niro kidnapping a popular comedian. It was the same premise as that. We're just going to slap Joker on it, and basically it's like this.
And Robert De Niro was in it.
Robert De Niro. Well, yeah, I think I said De Niro, didn't I?
Oh, I thought you meant in that the Scorsese film Robert De Niro's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, Robert De Niro's also in
yeah.
Joker as well.
And it's like I feel like if Scorsese puts his name on it, everybody's like, okay, it's a good movie. That's not true. That's really not true. Scorsese has some stinkers, and he's got some great movies. In fact, my favorite movie is by Scorsese. So, but you got to. Sometimes it's just like, okay, like you said, all right. What was the point of this movie at the end of the day?
Oh, we saw a man shoot another man and then laugh on top of a police car, and that caused anarchy. That was the point.
Right. It felt like, okay, so that was supposed to be a catalyst for anarchy in Gotham, right? And okay, this is the premise of the Joker, is he is the catalyst for anarchy in Gotham, for the riots and the uprisings and everything like that. But what we did is we focused so heavily on him being mentally disturbed because you know what, Oscar, we're going to prove that a superhero movie can win an Oscar, and that's what you focused on, is to try as a performance. And don't get me wrong, Joaquin Phoenix does a fantastic performance. He really does. But there are certain things that just didn't make sense to me. Like him laughing in the fucking bus and he's got to give the card. And it's like, this woman's just being a bitch to him. That's all there is to it. It's not even like a thing. It came out of nowhere. It felt like these are the paces. We're going to go through the paces and we're going to make it look like a Scorsese film because we know that Scorsese it's like Jack Nicholson being up for an Oscar. You don't ever want to be up against Jack Nicholson for an Oscar because he's going to win the fucker. I can't remember who it was. They won. I don't remember who it was that won an Oscar one year, and Jack was in the back with them, and he looked over at him. He said, "Aren't you glad that I didn't have a movie this year?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's he's not being full of himself because it's true. And I feel like that's the same thing with the Scorsese. We're just gonna follow the beats that a Scorsese film has. And who was it? It was the guy that directed Deadpool that directed it. And it was like, did you see any of him in that at all?
Deadpool? No, I didn't see any Deadpool in the Joker movie.
No,
oh, you mean the director?
Yeah, but there's a director's style that sometimes, like M. Night Shyamalan movies, you know when it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yes, you know
it's
when
either going to be shit or not,
right? Or it's a James Gunn movie where it's going to be a bunch of people hating each other but needing to work together. Like James Gunn is very paint by numbers with that. Let's just be real here, and that's what Thunderbolts looks like. But whatever, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I haven't seen the trailer for Thunderbolts. I've seen the poster. That's it.
That is exactly what it screams to me. I'm like, people are like, oh, the trailer doesn't look that bad. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to wait because one, I think that team is awful. There's no meat to it. They
all do the same thing, right? There's like nobody.
Pretty much.
It's kind of like a different thing. Like
yeah, each one is incredibly boring.
It's like the Peacemaker and what was it? Deadshot? Not Deadshot.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, right?
I'm like
he does the same thing. He does the same thing I do. I just do it better.
I just do it better. Yeah, like that's exactly what this poster looks like. Apparently, the Sentry's in it though.
I don't know what that means. I mean, I know the character, but I don't.
Well,
I heard
apparently isn't he in Thunderbolts? Yeah, he's on that team. I don't know how they're gonna even do that.
he's on the poster.
Well, I know he's on the poster.
Yeah,
I mean, but I just mean because the Sentry's like
Marvel Superman, isn't it?
but worse. Like way like he can switch to being evil whenever, and he's like Superman and Hulk combined. Like he can be an absolute terror. And I'm like, when I saw that, okay, I guess there's your meat, but I'm like, well, he's not, but not on the Thunderbolts. Just throw Red Hulk in it and call it a day.
Oh,
And because Ghost, I think Ghost and US Agent are the only two original members, or the only two members that are
from the comic.
I think so. I could be wrong.
Dude, why would you get
Winter Soldier's also on there, but he's later.
Yeah. Okay, so you got Ross being played by Harrison Ford.
Yeah, you do.
I'm like, do you know how old Harrison Ford is?
And it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. I hope he dies in Captain America. Because if he doesn't, you're gonna have a third actor playing him, Ross. I feel like you should have got some. Okay, so Harrison Ford is 82 years old.
Correct.
Jared says there are no original members of Thunderbolts in the movie.
Oh, there's not? Okay, so then I'm thinking of, because was Ghost an early or a later? Then Ghost was a later team member. Anyway, continue.
But okay, so you got, the other Ross died. You won't have back Sam Elliott for some reason. And now you've got Harrison Ford. And it's like, bruh, y'all might need to think, younger. I'm just saying, maybe age somebody up or something.
Well, and even then, Thunderbolt Ross isn't even that old. Like, he's in his 60s. So there's plenty of actors, or even just make him a younger actor. Like, you don't really have to play by the rules in this universe. Hell, you could even got J.K. Simmons.
Oh my gosh. Like, there ain't nobody in this movie that's part of the original member. Are they going to have Zemo as the leader of the Thunderbolts?
No, it's Winter Soldier.
Okay. I like the premise for the original Thunderbolts was supposed to be all so it's a bunch of villains pretending to be heroes, basically, and then they actually liked it, so then they ended up turning against Zemo.
Yes.
Right. And that's a pretty cool premise. It doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like we're just trying to redeem ourselves. And it's like, okay.
Well, it's to me,
Squad. I feel like the Winter Soldier's trying to redeem himself over nothing. Honestly, I'm like, you're fucking. See, that's why I didn't like Civil War. That's one of the reasons I didn't like Civil War. You mean to tell me Tony Stark is going to get mad at the man for being brainwashed into killing his parents?
Yeah, during Onslaught, because that's when Moondragon was it Moonstone, and who's the other original Deathbird? Not Deathbird. Goliath. That was one, and then there was the other girl.
Stop being a baby monkey.
Well, listen. I'll be real with you. The Civil War has been beaten to a dead horse, and frankly, I don't want to talk about that. I don't. I would rather
see that new Kristen Dunst movie. Somebody's like, "This is the worst remake ever."
That was her name.
There's no Iron Man in it at all.
There's no Iron Man in this movie.
But no, the original lineup was, you had Zemo, Atlas / Goliath, Mach 1, Mach 2, Mach 3, Mach 4, Mach 5, Mach X, Beetle, Meteorite / Moonstone, Songbird / Screaming Mimi, Techno / Fixer, Jolt, and Hawkeye join later on.
Yeah, and then after that, it's because then I know Green Goblin's a part of it.
So basically, this is just the name, right?
Yes, it's just the name.
It's just the name.
Yeah, it's just again like Civil War, where it's just the name.
Yeah, Songbird who was screaming Mimi. Yeah, there's like a couple of those that were like, there's something / this. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, because they liked it, and then they were supposed to be the masters of evil, and they were supposed to be disguised as superheroes. But and then Zemo was like, "Hey, no, never mind, this backfired." Kind of like the Dark Avengers. The Dark Avengers are just the Thunderbolts, but wearing a wig. So
I want to ask you a question.
because U.S. Agent was on the Dark Avengers. That's what he was on. Anyway, what's up?
Okay, I don't want to talk about Marvel anymore.
Okay,
So you're a writer, right?
no.
Okay, you're allegedly a writer.
Allegedly, yes. What's up?
Right. So do you, before you sit down to write, do you read anything?
Sometimes.
What do you read? What it's okay. Let's take, you've got like 2 or 3 different comics out there. So let's take them each. If you were going to sit down and write Blue Lullaby, the next Blue Lullaby installment, what would you pick up to read to inspire you to write Blue Lullaby? Or it doesn't even have to be something you read. It could be something you watch, or something even a video game.
Oh, well, to be honest with you, Monsters Inc. was Blue Lullaby. So
don't admit that. Jeez.
well, that was like literally one of the inspirations.
Spoilers.
Like, listen, that book has been out, and if anybody hasn't read it yet, I'm sorry, and I don't care, but you should probably read it.
Well, no, I mean, but it's not. But it's not exactly. It's not exactly that either, though.
No, it's
no,
not.
I mean, you tell me that, but I wouldn't have seen it. I didn't see it reading it. Is I guess what I'm saying.
Really?
No, I mean, yeah, you have. I saw it more like imaginary friends. I would liken it closer to Foster's, but not without that rapey ripoff feel like that Ryan Reynolds movie has.
If.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you're saying that my book is not as bad as If.
No, it's not a rapey ripoff. Not at all.
Okay. If is a rapey ripoff of Blue Lullaby, and I'm coming for you, Ryan Reynolds.
Well, no, it would be cooler if it was.
It would be way cooler.
Imaginary might be.
For Blue Lullaby, I read a lot of crime books, like The Fade Out by Greg Rucka, or is that Ed Brubaker? I always get those two mixed up. Yeah,
Brubaker, and
yeah. I read a lot of that. The way Blue acted under the bed, I guess you can relate. Yeah, exactly. Like that was the point, is that he's the monster that actually gives a shit. Or Men in Black too is the other one that I compared it to. But I guess Foster's works a lot better.
Well, I wouldn't even compare it to Foster's per se. I would just say, I would, if I were going to think or relate it to anything, it would be Foster's versus Monsters Inc. or even Drop Dead Fred. But that's another thing altogether.
Fair, I think.
But you see, that's the thing that aggravates me, is when people relate one thing with another thing simply because they have the same subject in it. There's nothing about Drop Dead Fred, Monsters Inc., or Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends other than there being otherworldly friend.
Right.
That's it. It. Other than that, there's no other comparison.
Right. And I think, but to go back to your other point, or your other question, though, I do read a lot, but I didn't really start reading, and I'll be totally honest. When it came to Blue Lullaby, I didn't really read a lot when I wrote it. I actually read a lot more when I started doing Set the Hook. Because that's when I started reading a lot more of Hellblazer. I started reading a lot more of Moby Dick, which I never read, but more of like those meaty, gritty series. Like Werewolf Run was one of the other ones that I read of. Lord of Gore, just anything that had a noirish, fun, and campy feel to it, I would dive into. And I think it does. Right? God, I sound like I'm doing an interview. I think it does relate to. I think that definitely helps when it comes to writing, is looking at how other people write the genre.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. It's kind of like, okay, so say you just go and you go straight to typing away,
Right.
but you haven't. Do you have a system where you prepare before you go? Yeah, you're in an interview. Mr. Perkins,
Yeah.
do you have a system that you have before you just go into typing away and reading or writing? I mean,
To be honest with you, it just depends. Usually, what I like to do is I listen to music and I read when I watch something.
Oh, do you turn the lights out, burn a candle, maybe some incense, really get
Yeah.
into the mood?
I get into the bathtub, I make myself a bowl of strawberries, and I put my laptop in the bathtub and I start typing away.
There you go, Truman.
Yeah.
Not what was it, Truman? Who was it? Yeah.
But it depends. So when it was, God, and I hate saying this. So when it came to writing the second issue of Set the Hook, especially now what it's become, because originally it just started as a revenge story and not this weird this weird monstrosity. Let's just say that I absolutely adore. I read a lot of like Omaha the Cat Dancer to do like the sexy bar stuff. I read it helps.
I wasn't seeing that, but okay.
Okay. Well, for the second issue?
Oh, I haven't read the second issue.
No,
so
you
I
haven't read
know
this
that.
issue. Yeah. Well, the first issue, there's a lot of inspiration of Omaha the Cat Dancer, and you can tell when Otis is sitting at the bar, and the bartender says, or the guy says, "Do you want to listen to some Moby?" I got that from Omaha the Cat Dancer because Otis shoots him, and that's a scene in Omaha the Cat Dancer. And actually, Omaha the Cat Dancers are really good, and if you actually do find a copy of it, I recommend picking it up.
There's
it's
places.
Good. I know. I have a copy.
Internet Archive. No,
you can probably find it on there, but I have a hard copy of the first volume.
Oh,
so, yeah, I was able to find a copy. Yay! But I also read a lot of Monster as well. So I did read Monster when I was doing Set the Hook. So yeah, I mean, it depends.
Manga?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Monster. I have the first 2 volumes and I need to grab the rest, but I usually go back and I read those ones.
I think we have 5. I think
5 out of the 9.
8.
9.
Is there? Is it 9?
Is there 8? I don't know. There's a lot. There's more than I can count and remember, but I remember there is. But I do think it does help to read and watch something and even listen to music in order to prepare. Like sometimes when I'm writing, I like to listen to my death metal stuff, or I will listen to classical. When I wrote lyrical before I scrapped that, I used to listen to a lot of shitty pop music. And that was a lot of fun and terrible because now I like shitty pop music.
Oops.
Listen, I can get down to some Look, I can get down to some Cardi B and some Kesha. Okay, I'm just saying. All right.
Baby, you're a firework.
That's Katy Perry, not Kesha.
It
does. They're not
Kesha. I know. Like We're Gonna Die Young.
And yep, We're Gonna Die Young.
You better be careful with that. Now. You'll end up getting in a has-been hotel and hell of a boss that way.
No, refuse. Listen, I look at that every time it pops up on Amazon or just anywhere, and I roll my eyes so hard. Like I've been burning through Gravity Falls season 1, and that is quality entertainment.
Oh, so you've been watching it now, have you?
I have. I just got done with the body swapping episode where Seuss gets swapped with a pig. Listen, I was in the body of a pig for most of the season.
I was in a pig. Yes.
So I don't know what's going on. But
season 2 gets better.
Yeah, but now I got a question for you. What do you read to prepare for your writing or your drawing?
Not a damn thing. I am all original. I create out of the void.
I don't think you create anything, see?
Oh, wow.
You create out of the void.
What the fuck is that supposed to
mean? You could just admit it. You trace Dragon Ball Z characters, and that's it. You trace Dragon Ball Z characters and then make them your own.
Oh my gosh. That's one thing. I never got into the art style of Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, why? It's hilarious.
I will say that Toriyama was amazing at his vehicle designs and stuff.
Yeah, you've said that on Art Kamikaze, where you were absolutely fascinated by how he designs them.
I was, yeah, that was me really discovering that for the first time, honestly. But I'm not a Dragon Ball Z person.
That's fine.
I want to try to watch it just like I did with My Hero Academia.
Well, the thing is with Dragon Ball, you gotta watch Kai. You gotta, if you're gonna start with Dragon Ball itself, I definitely recommend you need to start with, because Dragon Ball is great.
I would be, yeah.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, you gotta just jump right to Kai. Like, don't even worry about the original Dragon Ball Z. Just go straight to Kai. Because that cuts out every standing there grunting at each other episode, and powering up episode, and it makes everything a lot more streamlined.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I watched some of the beginning of the Frieza saga.
Yeah.
And basically, Goku's running down the Snake Way.
Yeah.
Whatever. And, Gohan's being basically neglect trained by Piccolo and everything like that. So it's kind of like, and Vegeta's an asshole, but like not in a good way. That kind of thing. So I didn't get very far into that.
You need to just go right to Kai. It streamlines everything, and then you're done.
Okay, but does it streamline Dragon Ball or just Dragon Ball Z?
Just Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball is really good because it doesn't have filler. It is just a consistent story. And it doesn't do the whole... So Dragon Ball, because, Dragon Ball Z wasn't... Like, Goku was supposed to get married, and then that was it. And then Goku was supposed to die, and then Gohan was supposed to take over. And Dragon Ball is just Journey to the West. That is it.
Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense because, they turn like monkeys.
Yes.
So.
Well, I mean, he has a thing. So, no, there's no fights that...
Well, he did, but then he doesn't anymore.
Right.
He doesn't
got his tail cut off. He doesn't have a tail. But he ends up... Journey to the West. Dragon Ball is just Journey to the West, and it has a cohesive story. Yes, it has Ki and all that stuff, but it doesn't have the next time on Dragon Ball Z, Gohan and them are going to stand in the desert and stare at Frieza until he moves. Like, it's just consistent action and consistent character development and story development.
Right.
And it's really good. And I highly recommend people take a look at Dragon Ball. I think it's still on Hulu. I know they had that on there.
There's places to find it.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, if you have Hulu, you can watch it there too. Or you can pirate it. Because did you know that One Piece is the #1 pirated anime and manga out there? That. Man, isn't that ironic?
No fights that last 12 episodes.
No, believe it or not. And then Dragon Ball Super, it's fine. There are some things that I don't like about it, but it's tighter than Dragon Ball Z. Akira Toriyama, may he rest in peace. The whole series is, I think his son is taking over, or one of his assistants is taking over. I
heard it was still going. I was talking about it with somebody today. Look, she comes in with Dragon Ball. You talk to people about anime, and certain anime, you bring up Full Metal Alchemist, you can bring up Monster and everything else. If you're at the die-hard super,
not crappy. It's very hit and miss.
Yeah,
like the arcs, especially with the manga.
But
it's very hit and miss with the.
They always come back to Dragon Ball, and at this point in time, like it just kind of glosses over for me. Like
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. You say Dragon Ball, and I'm kind of like
that.
I'll listen to you, but it's like there's nothing. It doesn't. It was almost like One Piece, right?
Well, see, there you go. Now it's coming full circle, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on One Piece.
Well, the thing is, but you never thought, but you equate One Piece with those, right? And that's
Yes.
the hardest thing to get people to understand. It's not Pokemon. It's not Dragon Ball. There's actually a cohesive, continual story to this,
Yeah.
with broken up into several different other stories with inside it, but they're
Yes.
all moving towards a certain goal. And no, it's not just him becoming king of the pirates. I was talking to somebody the other time. Okay, so in the manga and in the anime, it's all Luffy shares his dream, right?
Yeah.
And in the anime, it blacks out to another thing. You never hear his dream. In the manga, it's like a blank dialogue box, right? So you never get what Luffy's dream is.
Right.
And the thing is the fact that he's sitting there talking about his dream. Well, what do you think his dream is?
He wants to be
Not-
king of the
not
pirates.
you.
Haven't you
No.
not?
Right. But that's wrong.
Right. No.
He
yes.
never says, I dream or I want to be king of the pirates. He doesn't say that. What does he say?
I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
I'm going to be king of the pirates. Almost like it's a prerequisite for him to do what he wants to do. So the question is, what the fuck does he want to do?
It is the One Piece,
It,
which is the
but
friends you
it's
made along
not.
the way. So I mean, you know.
It's the One Piece, but it's almost what you can do once you have the One Piece. Or, like you and I both know that the reason why Luffy wants to be a pirate. It doesn't have to do with riches or anything else like that. And that's the goal. Is the thing is, look, the One Piece is a means, but the goal is beyond that.
Right.
And I saw somebody, it's just a freaking kid running around with as a captain trying to find the One Piece that he still ain't found in fucking 30 years. And it's like, but that's actually not what the story is.
Right. No, like
It's
a lot more
not
to
something
it.
as simple as here's Frieza, he's going to blow up the planet. We need to fight for 12 episodes. It's
Right.
not here's a super villain and Deku, who is not that great, has to go whatever,
Right. Deku has to get a power to defeat this guy or use some way to defeat them. Or Naruto, where he just screams about Sasuke.
And see, that's another one that I plan on sitting down and watching eventually.
Well,
I'd like to give him a shot, because if I
Sure.
don't, it's like, okay, yeah, I don't like anything supposedly, but the fact is, it's not because I haven't given it a shot. When you give something a critical thought, there's not much that stands up to it anymore. That's
Right.
really not,
well, because you
especially nowadays.
well, you also don't have something, and I'll bring up Case Closed or Detective Conan, which that series has been going on for like 1,000 episodes, and it still hasn't moved past the main fucking plot.
Right.
Nope. It's like it's like the creator of Detective Conan forgets his own story in
Yeah.
order to do these stupid murder mysteries, and it just gets monotonous.
Yeah, see, I've never watched Detective Conan. It wasn't one of those things that interested me. It's almost like 90s anime.
It is. I mean, it is
it's
90s anime. It's been going
like-
on since.
I think we've said it before, like 90s anime / manga has the same problem that comics do. There's a lot of people who look back at the late 80s and 90s as if that's the golden era and don't want to move forward.
Case Closed. Detective Conan is not one of those I'll tell you right now, it is not the golden era and where you want to be right now. It's fact, you should not be there at the point.
Yeah.
Like I read 1,000 chapters of it, and it's about Conan or Jimmy or whatever the hell his name is gets turned into a little child by this organization, these Men in Black type people. Well,
Yeah.
for all the episodes, he hasn't even figured out who the organization is, where they came. Like, there's no answers. Like, nothing's ever answered. It's
Nothing's ever come up. Yeah.
yeah, except maybe like one chapter, and then he's like, "Okay, well, back to solving cases as a child." And I'm like, "Bro, I'm sorry, but we know that Conan's gonna solve the case." Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of those. I think it's stuck in the we don't want to. I don't know how to end this. And this goes back to the thing, and you say, and I wanted to bring this up real quick, because I got a bone to pick with you when it comes to something that you said to me behind the green screen once before.
Look, we said no kissing and telling.
Okay, well, it's about you, how you really love the Lorax.
Wow.